All right. This lesson is all about values. You see it right there in the title. So, your values, they are determining your excuse me. Determining your highest values is one of the most important exercises you'll ever do. Okay? Not to be dramatic, but one of the most important exercises you'll ever do. And what it does is it guides your decisions and it shapes your life. So they reflect what's important to you and influences your behavior, good or bad, right? Especially if we're not living them. So, who is the person you want to be? What values would you have to live in order to be that person? So now this next activity is from the Values Factor. It is John DeMartini. He's a doctor. Uh, Great. Oh my gosh. Great book. Highly recommend. And what he does is he asks certain questions that allow you to determine your values. So here are some. How do you spend your time, your energy, your money? That alone, those three questions alone is great for insight. How do you fill your space? For example, are you cluttered? Do you have plants around? Do you keep items that make you think of bad memories, and as opposed to just throwing it out or donating it? Where are you most organized or reliable? So, are you a reliable coworker or employee, but not a reliable partner or parent? That's important to ask yourself. Um, what dominates your thoughts? Is it being a better partner or is it making money? And that's not to judge. It's not a good or bad, but what dominates your thoughts? Or is it negative? Is it positive? And what do you visualize most? Is it getting fit? Is it having a savings account? Is it getting a new job, right? What do you visualize? Some more questions. What inspires me? What inspires you? Also, what inspires me, but what inspires you? What do you most often talk to yourself about and also others? So, are you always gossiping, talking negative, or are you around people who are always doing that? Another great question to ask yourself is, what topics do you love to study, read about, research? That right there will help you determine that. So, for example, if you just read that question, you're like, yeah, Annie, I don't study and I don't want to. Okay, well, you may not value education, and that's okay because we're all different. And what goal stands out in your life that have stood the test of time? Meaning, what is a goal that you've essentially always wanted to do? When I was a kid, I wanted to write a book. Now I did write a book and I'm in the middle of writing my second book. So this was a goal that stood the test of time. And let's talk about some life domains because this also helps us because we may have different values in different domains. So I'm going to break this down. This is money, career, health, fun, community, friends and family, your partner, and growth. And growth is kind of like what I was talking about before with educating yourself or self-development. Do you value that? Which, because you're here, because you're getting your shit together, it shows me that you do value that on some level. Now, how do you know? How do you know it is a true value? Well, you know because when you start thinking about it, these phrases come to mind. I desire to, I choose to, I love to, I dream of. Now, how do we know it's not a true value? That's when you start with I should, I must, I have to, I need to. Well, I should have 3 months of savings, but instead, what you're doing is spending every dollar you've ever made. So, is savings a true value? I don't know. You tell me. Now, overcoming challenges, it's about finding the balance and compromise without losing sight of what's important to you. So, for example, maybe you value your family, they're your number one value, But because of that value, you want to make sure that your kids go on an extra fun vacation this year. You and your partner take a second honeymoon, let's say. So with that, you may spend less time with the family for a little bit to make extra money to save for that vacation. So you're compromising. It's not a forever thing, but for that moment in life, you're playing the long game. And we want to set our goals based on these values. So ideally, we would use our values to guide us to set these goals and make decisions. So I just keep using the finance example because it's so easy to. So let's say that you value savings and financial independence, but every few months you're buying the latest technology, the latest gadget, and you're forever in debt. Well, you say you value something, but it's not exactly guiding your decisions in the best of ways for that. So, goals are rooted in our values. We want them to be meaningful. And because they're meaningful, you're more likely to achieve them, which, hell yeah, that's what we're here for. And maintaining our values over time. So we want to keep our values relevant and adapting to our changes. So, for example, maybe at one point you valued your friends as number one, but as you got a partner and as you started raising some kids, maybe your friends aren't number one. It's not so much that you don't value them. It's not so much that you don't value them anymore. You just have a different priority. It's a different time in your life. So, let's do a summary. Understanding your values, they help guide the principles of your life, influence your choices and your actions. Identify them, you'll do self-reflection and what really really matters to you in these different life domains. Then we want to align your daily actions with these decisions of the value. And overcoming, learn to navigate conflicts and maintain your values in tough situations. So, if you value direct communication, this may be hard when you have to call out a coworker or a boss on bad behavior, but you will be able to navigate these challenges because you value direct communication. And when you anchor on that, you're able to start doing actions such as setting boundaries with people or calling them out on bad behavior. Now, use these values to set your goals. We want them to be meaningful. We want them to resonate with you. And you are more likely to reach your goals when they align with your values. And adapt them over time. As I mentioned, um, it may be that you valued friendship more in your 20s and now you're in your 30s and or 40s and you value your family more and raising a family. So that's it for values. I hope that helped. I'll be sending you an activity on it, but I hope you see the importance of values and I'm super excited to see what you decide.